All right, welcome back to another episode of the 2021 MLB Draft Show. Tonight, we've got a little bit of West Coast love. I know that we hit on the Southeast and the East Coast so much in the Midwest, but I'm out here in the West Coast. I got to rep the West Coast. We got Carson Williams out here, a Cal commit out of Torrey Pines High School, San Diego, California. What's up? How you doing, Carson?
I'm doing well. Just got back from a baseball game, actually. I'm doing pretty well right now.
Nice. Did you guys win?
No. We took a tough loss today. Probably gave up some easy runs and just didn't go our way today. It's all good though.
Yeah, comes with the territory, man.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm going to go back a little bit and jump back to where some times where things did go your way a little bit. So the first time I got to see you live was last year at WWBA. So you came down here, and not too many kids get to walk away with an MVP and a really big ring on your finger as well. So just talk to me a little bit about how that week went for you and just how that process and how everything went.
That whole tournament, I mean, I was new to it. I'd never played baseball out in Florida before, and it was so much fun to just get to go out and play in an environment like that. And when we came together, the team that I played on was half of my travel team and then half of GBG, actually. So we kind of came together and made a team out of it, but it was ridiculous. I mean, coming into that thing, not knowing half the team, we meshed so well together. And then the closer we got, we went pool play, we went playoffs, we went elimination. And the closer we got, we just were thinking, we were like, oh my God, we could really win this thing. And we never stopped hitting. That was the one thing that never really stopped. We obviously had great pitchers. They were hitting their spots, getting outs, but we never had a lull in our hitting, and we just kind of rolled on teams, and it was an amazing experience.
I know 2020 was kind of a different year, an odd year. Not a lot of guys traveled. Some of the showcase events didn't take place, and the showcase events that did happen, not everyone traveled for them. I got to ask you, going to WWBA, what was it like, stepping on the diamond and, hey, here's 93 to 95. Welcome back, baby.
I mean, it's baseball. It's definitely a sport of failure. Like you're gonna have your. I mean, there's times where you can't even see the ball out of the hand, and when you get back and you see 93 to 95, it's all about quick twitch. It's all about just it's muscle memory at some point. But all of us, we all had to see it on the same team, and once one guy had a hit, it was contagious. It really was. And we just kind of banged the ball around, and we had so much fun. I think that was a big factor of why we actually won together, is because everyone was having fun.
Yeah, it's just a different animal getting in a situation like that, especially like not being in travel ball that much. And the way it was set up in that tournament where you had to travel to different sites and around for the whole week was pretty crazy in itself. So I could imagine that being a fun week. Just staying locked in that whole week must have been a different feeling. But let's talk about a little bit of your 2021 year. And it's been extremely loud, man. Like everything you've done on the field so far this year has been what scouts want to see. And just your name has been all over the draft boards and all over first round buzz and things like that. So just talk to me a little about how your seasons went so far. You've shown some real improvement on the power side of things. I think you've hit for double-digit home runs already this year. So just talk to me a little bit about how your years went and what you've improved on going into 2021.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, coming into the first 2021 season, it was, I mean, at first I definitely started slow because there were scouts at the game. It was overwhelming for the first two games, I think. And I think I went 0 for 8 or something like that. And I actually reached out to some friends. I'm sure you know Marcelo Mayer. Like I reached out to him, and I reached out to these guys that have been on the circuit for so long. And they were just like, dude, relax. You're fine. Just play baseball. And that's what I kept hearing. I finally, after those two games, I really kind of set in and just played baseball. And when that happened, I started going off, I guess you could say. And when I'm relaxed and confident, I was doing my thing. And yeah, I've been working on the power side of things. Just getting bigger, faster, stronger was a big thing for me in 2021. I've always been a little skinny kid on the team. So I've been trying to get a little bigger in the gym and stuff like that. But 2021's been been a roller coaster. It's been super fun so far. Hopefully we can pull out a ring in the end.
Can we talk a little bit about where you were and where you've been? Because the first time I saw you was probably June of last year. Just highlights of you kind of stacking together a 2021 shortstop class, and you say that you've gotten bigger and stronger and really tapped into the power. I really think you're selling yourself short because your swing is so much more physical now. I mean, it's so much more connected, and you seem to really juice up the ball more than you did a year ago. And I know some of that comes with age, but how have you gone from the player that you were, a year ago to now the more physical infielder that you are today? Like, what did you do over the winter and moving into this spring season?
A lot of it was the gym and getting bigger because I put on almost 20 pounds. But another thing was really getting into my legs and just the quick twitch. And I've always had kind of eye-hand coordination where I can put the ball in play for the most part, but I think a big thing was really getting into my legs and using my hips and just kind of driving into the ball more than taking a defensive swing, if that makes sense. Really going after it and just being aggressive. What
sort of things were you focusing on in the gym over the winter? I mean, was it mostly lower body? Was it athleticism drills? Kind of how did you get here?
My dad's been a personal trainer for a really long time, so we were. I'm pretty lucky to have him in my life, but a lot of it was lower half, and a lot of it was also speed and agility. But that still gets your legs stronger. I mean, pushing the sled. That's a fun one, but that's a big one that I've been doing a lot, and of course, upper body comes with that as well, but I think working on the lower half was the main point.
One last follow-up on that, Smitty, before you jump into your next question. Go ahead. Your measurables have been kind of all over the place over the last year. Where are you at now?
I'm at 6'3", 185.
Yeah, that's a much different animal than what we saw in September and October.
Yeah, sure, definitely. Absolutely. I mean, that's one of these Zoom calls that you have to do with teams and stuff, and they always ask you kind of the same questions. But that 2021, the pandemic, like I can say all about it, how I miss baseball, how you can say all the things that you missed. But I mean, if anything, I think I took advantage of that time that we weren't on the baseball field and I was in the gym just kind of every single day as much as I could. And that's what's helped me the most.
Grinding, finished paying off already, so that's what you like to see.
Definitely.
But let's talk about your next steps. You're committed to Cal. It's a prestigious baseball school. It's produced some guys. It's got some guys currently that are highly drafted prospects. Just talk to me a little bit about how that process was of how you got committed to go there. I know there's a ton of schools in your area that I'm sure were on your tail in the recruiting process.
Yeah, definitely. I did my fair share of visits and I had fun doing them. But when I went to Cal and just the coaching staff, the players, the environment, it was unreal. I went up there with my boy Caleb Lomavita. If you know him, he's out of Hawaii. Mm-hmm. Oh my gosh, we had so much fun there. I mean, we both committed at the exact same time because the visit was different from everywhere else. We love the practice plan, how they ran things, and just the overall environment, the studies, the classrooms. It was ridiculous. I couldn't say no to something like that.
Sounds like you were sold, that's for sure.
Yeah. Definitely.
Pac-12, baby.
Something like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yes, for sure. Hey, Carson, so it sounds like, if you end up going to Cal, you're going to be involved in, I mean, it doesn't really matter. If you end up going to Cal, if you end up going pro, you're going to be wrapped up in a lot more tech, a lot more hit tracks, a lot more Rapsodo, just kind of diagnosing who you are on the field qualitatively. So I want to ask you, is that something that you work into your game now? Do you get on the hit tracks? How do you track your data? Or are you mostly a field guy?
I've never been that type of guy to really hook myself up to the Rapsodo or the exit velo or see what your bat path is. I mean, I was almost taught how to play baseball by Mark Grudzelanek, and the first thing he ever told me was to go down on the ball when you're hitting. You don't go up, you go down on the ball. You get that hard hit line drive, and then you're going to miss a ball and it's going to go out. I mean, at the end of the day, you can't go wrong with that. You see these guys who are just launch angle. That's not how I play the game. You just try to hit the ball hard every single time, anytime you can. But I've never been the tech guy. I've always been the type of kid to look at my swing and be like, oh, I just didn't get my foot down. It's not about my bat path or my exit velo or anything like that. I've kind of been a feel guy for the most part, definitely.
Well, going into this, I think we've got about 2 months left till we get to the 2021 draft. What are some things that you feel like you need to improve on, or you would like to improve on going into this draft to be in that elite tier of prep shortstops in this class? That's probably the strongest part of this entire class in general. What do you think some of the things that you can do personally to make yourself a part of that class?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, the shortstops in this class, I mean, I know most of them, they're unreal on the field and off the field. They're great kids as well. I think one thing I can really improve on is just is overall speed. Like I'm fast, but I'm not fast, if you know what I mean. Like I really need to get the 60 under to a 6'5" or a 6'6" or something like that. I'm sitting around 6'7" or I don't know, but I need to get a little bit faster. And then definitely I need to see more premier pitching for sure. I think that's a thing that, I mean, I got to see it in WWA and I handled myself very, very well out there.
Walk away with an MVP.
You won MVP. It's not like you were the best player on the field.
Like I didn't walk away as the most.
I definitely need to see some better pitching just to get used to it. I mean, going into college, you're going to be facing mid to low 90s every single day. Nice slider, but right now we got high school, and that's where I'm at mentally. I'm just going to keep going with my high school, practicing every day, still getting in the gym, and just playing with my team to hopefully end up getting a championship.
I like it.
It's refreshing to hear that, like other guys are just going to talk about what they can improve on, but you're facing defense and you're showing it right now.
Definitely.
It's refreshing.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah,
you're back on.
There we go. Okay. Sorry. I glitched out there for a second. So, my question is, and I can splice that out. My question for you, Carson, if I were to give you a scouting report and a pen and paper, how would you describe yourself defensively?
Quick twitch, smart, and good hands. The arm is there. It's always been there, and that's kind of what actually got me onto the I guess you could call it the circuit. Because I had that strong arm, and no one really knew what I was capable of at the plate or at shortstop. But I mean, I know I have quick hands. I got great hands, and then the quick twitch. I just feel like the intuitive part of it is a big thing at shortstop. You can every single play. Like I don't know. I guess I see things off the bat, just like a foul ball. Like I feel like you can see where he's going to hit it. Like you can see the pitch, you know where he's going to hit it, and being quick is everything at shortstop. Those quick movements and ranging to balls to your left or your right. And then I guess you could say another huge part about shortstop is body control and getting that throw across your body or the jump throw or a ball up the middle. It's just there's a bunch of things that go with short. It's overall athleticism at shortstop, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Is there a guy that at 6'3", 185, I mean, is there a guy that you kind of model your game after or you see a little bit of yourself in?
Definitely Tatis, just because he's got that great arm and everything he does, I feel like is smart. I mean, the guy, he's electric. Like that's all. I mean, you can't deny that. Maybe he's not having the best year this year. He's got some errors, but like, at the end of the day, like he's smart with everything he does, the way he dives, the way he throws. He's intuitive, and he sees things on the baseball field that other people don't. Like the short fly ball that he goes home on, he knows that he's going to fall over before he can actually get a throw off so he can go home. Like it's the smart things that you see in baseball players that just make that it's an extra tool that you can't even see sometimes.
Good way of putting it, yeah.
Absolutely. Well, I really just have one last question, and it's just going to really touch on something you mentioned earlier, and it's those Zoom calls that you mentioned with the teams. And you've mentioned kind of the similar questions, but has there been really one question that's kind of stood out being like, well, that's a little bit weirder or different than some of the other questions?
There's only been a couple teams that have asked this, but I mean, I knew what my answer was. But it's what would you do? Say you don't make it to the big leagues. Like, what's your plan after that? Like, say you get hurt or something like that. Yeah. And I mean, the only way you can answer that is I have no idea, because I'm gonna make it. That's all. That's. I mean, that's the only way you can answer it, because I mean, a lot of these kids, there's no way these kids that are going to go in the first to third or any of these rounds, like, they want to make it to the bigs. They don't have a backup plan. They don't want to go. They want to play baseball. And the high school kids that go to the pros in this draft, I mean, they've got to be ready, because I mean, everybody knows the minors are hell. I mean, you better be ready for every single day in the heat, in the cold. Like, you don't know where you're going to be at. So, I mean, you better be ready to go play baseball and play to the highest level that you can, so you can move up in the ranks.
Yes, sir. And the elimination of one whole level of minor league baseball is just going to make every jump that much more tough.
Definitely.
All right. Well, Carson, I'll leave you with one more question. You said on camera that you know most of these prep shortstops in this class, so I'm going to give you a chance to bust on one of them. What's the funniest story you've got on any of these guys?
Oh my goodness. I couldn't.
And I know Marcelo lives down the street from you, so
no, Marcelo, he's too good. He's too good. No. He's awesome. I can't bust him on anything. He's a great player, and he's so nice, and just like an overall great guy. I did really like hitting a home run off his team, though, and pointing at him when I was rounding bases. That was good.
That's the perfect way to crack on somebody then. That's perfect.
Oh my goodness. That was a good game. God, every time that kid gets up to bat, though, I'll tell you this, like, you know he's gonna put it in play. You know he's gonna do something. I mean, the kid's got, I don't even know, I think he's got 21 walks on the year, because people don't want to throw to him.
We said it yesterday. It was like 25 and 2 strikeouts.
Yeah, I mean, nobody wants to throw to this kid, and he's a special baseball player. That's all I'll say.
It's a good way to end, Carson. Well, hey man, thank you so much for joining the show. I think you were kind of a late bloomer onto the scene this spring, but I think Smitty and I have instantly become big fans. We're definitely rooting for you. I think you're going to go on to do big things, whether that's as a Cal Bear or in the pros. But we're rooting for you, man. Good luck.
Man.
All right, thank you guys.
Bro. Enjoy it.